let's get started with an eye on the globe and take a look at how US markets fared last week and what are the cues that we're tracking this morning. Well, Wall Street did end the last week on a high note with the Dow Jones Industrial Average surging more than 800 points or nearly 2% to a fresh record, while the S&P 500 that gained 1.5% and came within the touching distance of its all-time record high. The Nasdaq also jumped nearly 2%, lifted by tech strength. Meanwhile, the rally was followed by the rally that we saw last week followed Fed Chair Jerome Powell's Jackson Hole speech, where he signaled that the Fed could start cutting rates as soon as September. Now, odds of a quarter-point cut are now at 84%, sharply higher than earlier last week. Now, looking ahead, all eyes are on Nvidia's earnings and Friday's PCE inflation report, which is also Fed's preferred gauge that is expected to show core prices rising about 3% year-on-year basis. Now, both will be key in shaping the Fed's next move. And of course, the key to note is that Powell in his speeches indicated that the focus now shifts to job data instead of inflation. But before we discuss that in detail, let's also take a look at how the commodity market is shaping up this morning. First up, let's talk about oil prices. They were steady on Friday, but still logged their first weekly gain in 3 weeks. In fact, the Brent settled at that $67.73 per barrel level, whereas the WTI that closed at $63 per barrel. Now, both these benchmarks rose over 1% in the previous session, that is Friday, with the Brent up 2.9% on week and WTI higher by about 1.5%. Now, remember, these gains came amid hopes of a possible peace deal between Russia and Ukraine after US President Donald Trump said that he will watch if Presidents Putin and Zelensky can work together to end the war. On the other hand, we have gold, which did rise on Friday but has fallen this morning, though, like I said, it did rebound on Friday. It was buoyed by heightened expectations of a September rate cut following comments from Jerome Powell at the central bank's Jackson Hole symposium. Now, this morning, gold was down about 0.2% at $3,410 per ounce level.